Welcome back from the break. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has partnered with the EU-funded Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption Program of the International Institute of Democracy and Electoral Assistance to host a national summit on cybercrime prevention in Abuja.
Themed Alternative to Cybercrimes, Optimizing Cyber Skills for National Development aims to raise awareness about the dangers of cybercrime and its impact on Nigeria's economy, financial systems, and safety, citizen safety.
The event also marks the launch of the EFCC 247 Cybercrime Rapid Response Center, ECR2C, a multi-agency initiative designed to tackle cybercrime threats and incidents in the country. The ECR2C will serve as a one-step hub for receiving, investigating, and enforcing court orders against suspected cybercrime activities. Joining us live is the program manager for the anti-corruption component of ROLAC program, International IDEA, Dr. Emmanuel Uche. Good morning.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Okay, so we keep hearing cybercrime, and we have lots of assumption of what it could be, but what exactly is cybercrime?
Well, cybercrime, in summary, is someone using the internet. Internet is, the word cyber basically means internet, remote criminality. So someone using the internet, okay, and its associated frameworks and systems to commit crime. And such a crime could be of different magnitudes. It could be at the micro level, which is at the individual level. It could be against organizations. It could be against an entire country. So cybercrime basically means subverting the primary use, which is good, that the internet is supposed to be put to for criminal purposes. So there are 3,001 types of cybercrime that you can expect, including, bullying online, including sextortion, okay, including identity thefts, including business, call it platform compromise. There are 3,001 types of cybercrime, and it's evolving, it's increasing every day. So as more and more people, as the level of internet penetration increases in any country or in any community, the smarter the people can get, and therefore you need to be ahead of that game, to be able to help the society to still remain sane.
While I was listening to the report, and I was, from the summit, the chairman of the EFCC said, if I'm getting correct, 2,328 cybercrime cases occur daily in Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
So now that you broke it down, different kind of cybercrime, where exactly does Nigeria stand? How do we tackle if we're having this kind of, because it's alarming, if you have over 200,000 cases, cybercrime cases every day that occurs in Nigeria. Where does Nigeria stand, and what does this summit aim to achieve with this kind of program?
Nigeria is not standing well, and if you ask me, a lot of countries actually think that Nigeria is one of the cybercrime capitals of the world, okay? Especially being a country that sort of produces more of the perpetrators than the victims. But be that as it may, I can also tell you for free that Nigeria loses between 250 billion to 500 billion naira annually as estimated to internet fraud, okay? And internet fraud, which here has come to stay, and you even see people getting very proud about it. A few years ago, I saw something like Association of the Mothers of Yahoo Boys. Yeah, I saw a letterhead like that. Association of Mothers of Yahoo Boys. Yeah.
So I think that came during the N10 period.
God bless you. So you see that people are beginning to get very comfortable to say, well, at first it was like it's one of those classical cases of repatriation, taking back from the white what they took from us. But these days the white has become very smart. their systems for cybercrime response has been upped so well that only very, very few white people get conned these days. So they've turned on their own people. And then you see the variant. Those who are not educated enough are now doing Yahoo Plus. So you see the Yahoo, you see the Yahoo, you see the Yahoo Plus. And the Yahoo Plus basically borders more on ritual killing, on using money ritual, either with relatives, with girlfriends, with people. It's so much. They call themselves Yahoo. Anyway, that's not the type that EFCC is going to be fighting. It's not the Yahoo, it's not the Yahoo Plus, but the primary Yahoo that is based on the internet fraud, okay, cybercrime, which can be traced, which can be, there are procedures to it. And therefore, what we want to do is that if everyone understands their role in all of this, we would all be able to nip it better in the bud, just like it's done elsewhere. The West today is not suffering as much as we are doing because we have turned, it has turned on itself, and without the level of awareness necessary for people to understand and to identify it, to be able to either prevent, avoid, or nip it in the bud, it becomes difficult to deal with it, which is exactly what we are partnering with the EFCC and other anti-corruption agencies to try to nip in the bud, bringing all of society. And you can see from the conference, all the even royal fathers of the day, members of their house, activists from even the supply side, like our own Buba Marwa being there to lend support, all the royal fathers, the Oni of Ife, the Obi of Onitsha, the Sultan of Sokoto, lending their voice because everybody is impacted.
All right, so, this is a whole lot to actually assimilate, and then with what we continue to see in the society, experiences that people have, and I'm looking at how deep has this eating into Nigeria, the fabrics of, are we going to say our morality, Africa in extension also, and what effect does it have on us as a nation? Now,
this has eaten so deep in our system, which is why it has become a topic of concern, and which is why the European Union, through the rule of law and anti-corruption projects implemented by the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, thinks that if we don't support this process, it could actually undermine the very essence of even our democracy. Okay? And it's so deep that our young men who should actually deploy the best of their productive intellect, and we have a whole lot of them, we are very blessed when it gets to that. We should actually be leading the country, this part of the world, and be exporting ICT professionals like India and the Asian Tigers do. They earn massively. But here, it's not even difficult to identify them. You go to you want to know the level of prevalence? Go to any 5-star hotel. Okay, let me just be fair. 3-star, 4-star hotel. Whether it's in Asaba, Imo, Rivers, Port Harcourt, here in Abuja, you will be shocked that with all your good pay, you can't afford a room there. But half of their rooms are occupied by boys who don't even know the meaning of life. Many of them under 30, 35. With young little girls, you don't need anybody to tell you they are not spending the money that their fathers left for them. It's all Yahoo returns that they bring into those places. And I shudder every time I get to a hotel and see the class of people that form the majority of their clientele. Young boys paying for things that their fathers who have spent their lifetime working at the highest level cannot afford. It's so prevalent, and they flaunt it in your face. They flaunt it everywhere, and it's beginning to become the norm. People are beginning to think it's normal. And if we don't address it now, it's a big issue. So the approach that we have adopted, and which EFCC is spearheading, is not only being able to respond in real time to such manifestation, to such vulnerabilities but more also to identify those of them who are innately gifted, in these cyber skills, and redirect some of them. See as much as we can do, bringing all of society, particularly at the subnational levels, even the governors, to come on board and see what do we do? How do we help these young people recreate and redirect their productive skills and capacity to the benefit of the country?
When you spoke about the different stakeholders who are part of that meeting, which includes the business leaders, the security apparatus, traditional rulers, and all of them, I think that this is high time we start rethinking the traditional approach of how we fight cybercrime. And one of those reasons why I said so is that, we need to start focusing and redirecting the energy of the youth to something more meaningful. But in doing that, the government, on the other hand, is also lacking in creating the atmosphere for such. So how do we manage from this point A into point B, converting the energy of these young men and young women who are involved in cybercrime into something meaningful for the nation? There's a lacuna already. How do we bridge that gap?
Well, it's a journey of 1,000 miles, they say, must start with a step. And not just a step, but a step in the right direction. And what EFCC is spearheading, with the support of the European Union and international idea, is that step which you could call the seed that will blossom, And our engagement approach is usually to create models of change, models of reform, demonstrate that this change that we desire to see is possible. It's not as if any foreign organization like the European Union will bring all the resources that's required to change a country like Nigeria. But because we know that certain things are possible and doable, we come to create islands of change, models for replication, which we hope will then be extrapolated, taken up by different governments that are well-meaning, different captains of industry, who can then, zero in and expand on what we have done, so that the impact can be at scale. So what we have started is basically to sow the seed, and we are not being unmindful of the fact that this is just a drop in the ocean, but the ocean will definitely be lesser without that drop. And we are committed to making sure that we demonstrate that this is doable, that this can generate the impact that's needed, so that the replication model will be easy to follow by subnational governments and other well-meaning members of society.
All right, so for the layperson out there, what exactly is ECR2C all about? And then how can people protect themselves better from cybercrime?
Beautiful. That's a very good question, because if everybody takes responsibility, then the bulk of the problem is already, asked away. So people protecting themselves from cybercrime, number one, don't be greedy. That's my first point. For every time somebody is swindled online, 80% of the time, it's because the person was looking for gains where they have not sown. So if you were not greedy looking for gains where you've not sown, it's not likely you would ever be conned. That's number one. Number two, for any proposal that comes to you, especially online, if it looks too good to be true, 90% of the time it is not true. If it looks too good to be true, rule of thumb, it is not true. So query it. Number three, while you are online, during your online activities, do everything you can. If you understand the use of the virtual privacy network, VPN, that helps to encrypt your activities online, help to hide your IP address, so that phishing sites will not easily latch onto your IP address and then fish out the details of your life and target you. So you don't become an easy target. VPNs, that's virtual private networks, are very useful. And there are some of them that are also fake, so you need to be careful. Most of them that come free are also decoys to deceive people to think you are getting a secured access, but also themselves, they are fishing for information. So you also need to be extra careful with those. Number 3, don't click on any unsolicited link. If you've not solicited a link, don't click on it. Don't. If you think someone has sent you something that requires you to click a particular link, call the person to be doubly sure. Otherwise, you may be compromising your system. Right. There are 3,001 ways you can protect yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's been quite enlightening.
I'm telling you, interesting.